Hi guys, and welcome back, or welcome if you're new around here. My name is May. Really quick before we start the video, please excuse my very minimal makeup. I'm not one to do a lot of makeup to begin with, but unfortunately winter is finally creeping up on us here in South Florida, and I tend to break out every single year with a cold sore on my lip. Today is the first day, so I wanted to make sure I filmed the last couple of videos that I have planned for you guys for this year. So I tried to back up from the camera as most as I could, and hopefully it's not too noticeable, but I did want to point it out in case it bothered any of you. So with that being put out of the way, today's video is me ranking my 2023 Hermes purchases. If you are not new around here, you know that 2023 was the year that I finally decided to embark on this Hermes journey. I've done a few videos in regards to what I have bought, my feelings throughout the process. So I'll make sure to link that playlist down below for you guys to check out. But today I wanted to dedicate a specific video in regards to ranking all of the pieces that I have added from Hermes so far. Let's dive into one of my favorite pieces from Hermes, and that is none other than their nail polishes. So I have here 5 out of the 7 that I currently own, but these are some of my favorite colors from the collection. If I had to pick my top favorite color, I have to go with the Etude. Etude has been one of those colors that I finally got to discover this year, and I am obsessed. It's such a great neutral that I never knew I needed in my handbag collection and just in accessories in general. And the fact that they have a nail polish which represents the color perfectly was just a cherry on top for me. So I have talked about the nail polishes before, but I love them. If you tend to do your nails by yourself, this is kind of like cheaper than actually going to get a full-on manicure and pedicure anywhere. One of these nail polishes right now go for about $55 if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever I go do my nails and my feet anywhere just because I kind of want to treat myself, it's not less than $65. So you go ahead and splurge a little bit the first time around, but then you have a nail polish that you can reuse over and over again during the year. You can also find these in Nordstrom and Bloomingdale's as well. So if you have any points racked up, you can go ahead and apply it towards them. So the nail polishes definitely get a 10 out of 10 from me. I love them. I will continue adding more of their nail polishes into my collection. And next up we have none other than my Oasis sandals. You guys know I loved these little cute sandals. I actually ended up adding them in 3 colors overall during the year. However, the black ones were the first pair that I added. Actually, these were the first purchase that I did with my current SA. Before that, I had gone into the boutique and I had gotten a twilly and a nail polish actually, but it was with a gentleman and I never ended up going back with him anyways. I feel that the Oasis worked for me so well. I know that a lot of people gravitate more towards the Orans, but I have said this previously and I just feel like I don't like how they look on my feet in particular. I really do like the little heel that the Oasis offer as well. I feel like it goes more with my personal style. And in general, I just find them so comfortable. I still have to break in my gold ones, which were my latest purchase. However, the gold ones are in the smooth leather just like these, and I have worn these so much, you guys. I actually wear these to the mall whenever I go for a couple of hours, and even though they are pretty comfortable to walk in, I would say within that 3 to 4 hour mark, they definitely start rubbing on my pinky toe and like on the side of my foot, and still from time to time do cause a little blister. So just wanted to do that little quick mini review. Oh, I almost forgot. I give these an 8.5 out of 10. Now next up we have my Hermes reversible belt. This is called the, I will pop it up on the screen, buckle. Now with Hermes, you can go ahead and buy a belt or a belt strap the first time around. You do need to purchase the belt strap with the buckle, but once you have added a buckle for a specific width of a belt, you can go in and then just buy the belt straps in any other random color to pair with that buckle. So I really like that because yes, you're gonna have to splurge the first time around, but after that, some of these buckles are anywhere from like $300 to $400 and they're all pretty much reversible, so you get a 2 for 1. I love this color that I opted for to begin with. This was actually a birthday gift from my husband this year with another purchase, which I'll get into in a minute. But I feel like this width is just so dainty. It's perfect to cinch in dresses, flowy blouses. even blazers for that matter. And I've even gone as far as wearing it with a jean. I also really love the buckle that I went with. I felt like, once again, it's very dainty. It's not a loud Hermes logo that if you see it, you automatically know, oh, that's an Hermes belt. I feel like if you know of the brand and you know of some of their certain symbols, then you'll catch on to it. But if not, it's just a very subtle belt, which is ultimately what I wanted to go with. So overall, I give this one a 10 out of 10. And with that gift, my husband also gifted me the Igeri. I think they're called the Igeri sandals. It's basically the jelly sandals from Hermes, and I have a full comparison video in regards to these and my Valentino rock studs. So I'm not gonna get too into it. If you want to get into more detail, go ahead and check that one out. But I give these sandals about a 6.5 out of 10. You will know why in that video, but I do really feel that the caged look of these sandals in black is a little bit too bulky than I would have wanted to in a jelly or like a beach sandal. So maybe going for a more subtle color or a pop of color would have made a difference. I really still eye their cobalt blue ones that they had earlier on this year. I don't know if they still have those, but in regards to how I completely feel in regards to this sandal, I'm not too sure if I'll be adding another pair into my collection. Now I will link my last Hermes haul down below because I did pick up a couple of things when I visited my SA, but I also dove into sharing with you guys the things that I had picked up and how much I've already spent at the Hermes boutique. If you're new to this whole Hermes journey, you guys more or less know that you have to build a pre-spend history or a purchase history with your specific SA in hopes to be able to get offered one of your dream bags in the near future. I hear so many things from so many different people, and I honestly just feel like the experience is different for everyone. It's different depending on which boutique you shop at. I live in Miami and the demand in Miami is really high. I mean, every time that I go into the boutique, it's always busy with people even waiting for my specific SA as well. So I know that that plays a role. It also really depends on how much you are spending. I think every time you visit, I mean, there's people that walk in there and probably spend 50 grand just in one sitting. That is unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, not my case, but I do feel like I go at my own pace. I haven't deviated from the plan that I had in mind in order to be able to achieve a bag offer at some point. And I'm definitely keeping my fingers crossed that 2024 will be my year. I mentioned this in my previous Q&A video, but I appreciate all of you guys' positive support. I feel like we are truly in this all together and that you guys are just gonna be as excited as I am whenever that unboxing video goes live. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the next piece that I added this year into my collection. And this was a total surprise for me. I went into the boutique, asked for it, and miraculously they actually had one in stock. And that is none other than my Hermes Kelly Pocket Compact Wallet. I think that's the name. I know I always get it wrong. But I love this little piece, you guys. This layout of wallet is my ultimate favorite. I've done videos of other wallets very similar to this specific layout, and I always go back to the fact that I personally really enjoy it. I don't carry a lot of cash, so for me, this wallet houses all of my cards very comfortably. It also has a super cute zipper here in the back, which I just put like either little notes that my husband has given me, like lucky $2 bills. So it's just the perfect layout for me personally. I feel like if you do carry cash, it could still be comfortable, but I don't think that I would ultimately recommend this wallet. I also love the fact that I was able to get it in the color gold because, as you know, my dream Kelly or Birkin is in gold with gold hardware. So I feel like it's given me not only a perspective of the color itself, but also of the leather. This one here is in the Epsom leather, which my bag would ultimately be in Togo. But regardless of the fact, I still wanted to get a good feel of Hermes's leather in one of their small leather goods. So I'm just so happy that I was able to add this one into my collection. And of course, she gets a 10 out of 10. Now, the next piece is actually my only costume jewelry, fashion jewelry in general that I have from Hermes. And that is their Reval bracelet. This one is in the color Etoupe and the hardware is in rose gold hardware. Guys, this combination just opened up a whole new world for me. I did not know how stunning Hermes's rose gold hardware was until the day that I went in to look at a couple of bracelets in order to add. I'm obsessed. Specifically this combination, like the etoupe and the rose gold. Oh, so good. So definitely another 10 out of 10 piece. I have to say that I've honestly gotten really lucky with the pieces that I've added. Just like any other fashion house, I really do my research, and it's funny because when I go into the boutique, my SA is always like, wow, you come prepared. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of know what I want and I go for that. You know, not only do I not want to be surprised by a $2,500 price tag on a slim little bracelet, but I also want to add things into my collection that I know that I will use and that I will be able to incorporate it. All right, and then once I discovered the etoupe and rose gold hardware combination, I knew that I ultimately wanted this piece in that combination. So we have here my Kelly belt, again in the etoupe and rose gold hardware, and I love this piece. This belt is just absolutely stunning. I feel like it's a beautiful piece to finish off your outfit. I do have to point out one thing which I got into in my last Q&A, but I wanted to address a little bit more in this video. And that is the fact that since you do cinch the belt with basically this mechanism here, I have felt that when I do put it over a top or just over a blazer in order to cinch it in, as I start moving around, and maybe if I just do a certain movement that's a little bit out of the norm, like if I bent over or if I stretch my arm, I have felt that this sort of starts to loosen up. As I did mention in that Q&A, it's something very minimal, and it's not something that would ultimately bother me enough to not add any more of these belts into my collection. But I did want to share that because obviously I want to give you guys a good review on each of these pieces, because if you are considering adding them into your collection, not only are they not the cheapest, but also I want to make sure that you know the good and the ugly. I did want to point it out that if you cinch it in maybe just too tight to give you sort of like that cinched in waist, be prepared that if you are going to be moving around, that the belt will sort of start loosening up little by little. It'll still keep you cinched in, but you do kind of feel it like, you know, go like boop, boop, in a way. Hopefully I explained that the best that I could, and I know you guys understood me. So again, one of my favorites. I'm so happy that I was able to add it. If you aren't on the Hermes journey situation and you don't have a specific essay and you really could care less about building a purchase history, the belts do pop up on the website periodically. I've actually seen them in a bunch of classic combinations as well as some really fun color combinations too. But yes, this is definitely a 9.8 out of 10. The only thing that sort of bothers me is that little movement that it does from time to time, but again, it's very minimal. Now let's get into one of the pieces that just made me so happy to be able to add this year, and that is going to be none other than my Picotin. So really quick story time. I'm not sure if I got into it in the unboxing because I was just so excited that I feel like that unboxing just went a little bit all over the place, but I actually did not like the Picotin at first. It was funny because I would see people carrying it and I was like, oh, that's really not a bag that I would ever consider adding into my collection. But I feel like it was the fact that people were carrying it sort of like this. So to me, it just felt uncomfortable. And then I also felt like people were allowing these sides to sort of cinch in. So the look of the bag in general was just completely different. However, when I started diving into what sort of other handbags I can go ahead and explore from the brand, because not only did I get a lot of feedback when I did start my Hermes journey that in order to be able to get offered a quota bag, you should also consider looking into their other bags, but just in general to get a feel for their leathers, because ultimately Hermes is really well known for their leathers in particular. Then I started going down a rabbit hole and I started doing research in regards to the Picotin or the Her bag. The Her bag is still a 50-50 for me. There's just something that doesn't fully convince me yet. But the Picotin was one that, as I looked at more videos, read more vlogs, just went ahead and did a ton of research on, I kind of started falling in love with little by little. I'm so glad that I went with the 18, which was actually a recommendation from my SA. She felt that the 18 would be best in order to incorporate during daytime and also be able to take into the night, and I couldn't agree more. So I have nothing negative to say about this piece, you guys. It is, of course, another 10 out of 10. Now, before we dive into the last piece in this sort of Hermes ranking video, I did want to talk about my Hermes mugs. I do own two. I was gifted one for my birthday, which is from their Mosaic line. And then I also own the red one from, I will pop up the specific line on the screen because it is a very long French name. But I love my mugs. I think they're so fun. I do have to say that the one from the Mosaic line, you do have to be very particular with, because you cannot put it in the microwave, and it's also not dishwasher safe because it does have some sort of like gold specks throughout. However, the other one you can, but I did just want to point out that little detail. So again, I love those little things. Do you need to spend $250 or $200 on a mug? No, not really. As I said in like the Hermes pieces that I would never buy, I did think, I don't know if it was that video or another one, but I did mention that that would be probably the silliest thing that I would own from Hermes. Again, I do love them and I feel so luxurious whenever I am drinking my coffee out of them. But it is one of those silly expenses that it's totally not necessary. With all that being put aside, I do give them a 9 out of 10 just because the Mosaic one, as I said, is a little bit more delicate. And in general, I just am a little bit more careful whenever I use any of those two pieces. And last but not least, I did want to share with you guys my Hermes scarves. Now, I currently own two in the 90 by 90. So I do have this one. And then I also have this one, which I loved this specific line or design that they came out with this year. I'll pop up the name on the screen. So I ended up adding this beautiful one. I mean, the colors in these scarves are just absolutely stunning. And then I also went ahead and added a 45-inch scarf from that exact same line that I mentioned. This one I did get when I added my Picotin just because I felt like the blues paired so nicely with the gray tones. I wanted to go the scarf route rather than the twilly route because ultimately when I do add a Kelly or a Birkin, I know that those are the ones that I will be adding for that particular piece. So I wanted to add a different type of scarf, not only to have something different in my collection, but also for the versatility. I do reels in regards to like how to style scarves, and I think I add them here on YouTube as shorts too. And I've really found a ton of different ways in which you can style both the 45 and the 95. So overall, will I be adding more scarves into my collection? Absolutely. And I rank all of mine a 9.75. The only reason that they don't get a 10 out of 10 is because the silk is very delicate. So again, it's one of those that I kind of find myself being very picky as to when I use them and very careful whenever I do use them as well. Now, let me know if you have embarked in your Hermes journey or if you have been collecting Hermes for a while. What are your favorite pieces in your collection? I can't wait for 2024 and to see what Hermes has in store for me and for us here together in order to share. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I will leave that Hermes playlist right here for you guys to dive into next. And as always, I really appreciate you taking some time to spend with me today, and I hope to catch you all in my next one. Bye everyone.